One guy, one jar.
One guy, one jar.
Yeah, dude.
Two girls,
That's
one
an
cup
American
started all
classic,
that shit.
dude.
Two girls, one cup started all that.
That was
weird.
That was
shit.
like the thing when I was in like ninth
You ever
grade.
seen two?
I mean,
girls,
two
one
girls.
Cup?
Oh, yeah.
Two girls, one cup was like a opening to like a whole world of scat porn. That was a thing on 4chan for a while.
It was opened up a whole world of just that kind of weird shit that you could put out there. There
Yeah.
wasn't that kind of weird
Oh
shit.
yeah, there was.
What I mean,
Scat
what I'd
porn?
give to go back, dude.
Well, that was like that kind of like made it. Two girls, one cup. Come on.
Oh, yeah.
There
I
wasn't
remember,
like
dude-
scat porn making it to where I would hear about
Right,
it in
yeah.
some middle school in Holland. You know what I mean? No, it was two girls, one
was
cup.
when-
Did you see
that
that?
was when scat porn made it.
yeah,
Two girls,
that's
one
when
cup.
it made it.
Remember
It
being
made it
like
big.
12.
The bright lights of the
My buddy
the
had
big
a
city.
Could you-
birthday party, and like it's like we literally watched like Goatsy and like two girls. That was the whole birthday party at 12 years old. Was just watch seeing how much fucked up shit we could pull up on the internet, dude.
You don't think in the fucking like 1800s there wasn't like weird ass shit they were doing?
Oh yeah.
I
Like
bet they
having
did
sex.
all kinds of weird shit, dude.
Weird shit.
They had
dude.
to have.
Come on,
because
man.
we had that stuff.
Like, out to the stables.
We were still-
like, come on.
We should do some weird shit, but we don't have to because we have the internet. You know, you can see a titty on the internet. You can pull out your phone and be like, oh, look.
Well, people would argue that
See
you
a
know.
titty. Well, see a titty. You know, back then you couldn't.
Well, people would argue that you see all this shit on the internet, like porn and stuff, and then that warps your mind and makes you think that like well, that's what all sex is supposed to be. That's why they argue against porn. Well, that's a big one of the arguments, right?
Right. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it? Is it not? That's
No.
what they
It
say.
is, yeah.
That's what they say. It warps your
I
mind,
always
makes
wonder-
you think that this is what sex is supposed to be like.
It's
all the
not.
time.
It's like the action movie of sex.
There you go.
Yeah,
like
it's
an
like-
action, like
It is.
Vin Diesel and
It's always
XXX
like
or
meant to be
something.
more cinematic. I think the biggest thing that probably warps our mind towards sex in today's culture is probably that there's like a shame around it and that we don't talk about it. It's the thing that everybody does, but like for some reason we're not supposed to talk about it in public.
Right.
It's like money too, you know what I mean?
Money,
all those things.
salary at work. Like
Yeah.
like somebody asked you. Somebody just asked. Somebody just said today, just today, I was changing the trash, and he's walking out. He's like, "Boy, I hope they pay you good for this." And I was like, "Well, I hope to get there someday." And he's like, "Oh, they don't." And I just didn't really say.
Right.
And I get paid decent for what I do.
Yeah.
It's not like
Right.
I'm getting shafted because I wouldn't have accepted it.
Right. But yeah,
know.
talking about money or talking
But
about sex, there's
it's
it's a weird cultural thing that we're just for some reason not supposed to do, even though it's a huge thing that is a big part of everybody's lives.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It's odd, and
It's very odd.
it's the one of those things that between money and sex, and like there's other cultural things, occurrences that happen like that like those are all things that people have been doing since like culture began,
It really is.
since probably speech began about 50,000 years
you
ago.
were talking earlier about how homosexuality wasn't made to be abnormal until the rise of Christianity. And was it Henry III?
Henry the Eighth, actually.
Dude,
Was it
we were
Henry
going
VIII?
through that all the kings and queens and stuff of the past and stuff like that.
Them
There's
Greeks,
so many.
Them
But
Greeks,
Henry-
dude, they were jerking on shafts, dude. They didn't give a fuck, dude. Like they're hanging with the homies and fucking the homie looks
Yeah,
good. Let's go for it.
But then
you
there's
know?
arguments that they say that like nearing the end of like civilizations and stuff, people got like like just obsessed with like with that kind of with sexuality and cultural
Like
stuff,
hedonism?
and then they got really
People got
obsessed.
hedonistic.
Yeah, they got obsessed with the sex and like how gay and straight
Yeah.
and whatever all the shit. They got obsessed with it, and then eventually like civilization fell. So
Like
so
Rome?
there's people that say like that's kind of like what might be happening now.
Like Rome was partying by the end.
yeah.
I think
So-
as far as homosexuality being something that's like super looked down on, I guess Christianity always shied away from it a little bit, but King Henry VIII formed the Church of England, which started Protestantism, the Protestant church,
Okay.
and he basically like rewrote a lot of rules he formed that church specifically to do that, mostly so that he can get a marriage annulment, and because the Holy Roman Empire didn't support him in a conquest in Rome.
You could
But-
do that shit back then.
Yeah, so he's
just purely for yourself.
yeah, he was like, "Fuck this! I'm starting my own church." So he did
So they
that.
didn't have doors into Rome.
Yeah, and he was a
Which
lot
was the
harsher
power.
on gays, and basically most of the super anti-homosexual global movements, like in places like Jamaica, in places like India now, and stuff like that, were enforced because of Britain colonizing those places.
Really.
A lot of the places in Africa that really have like really harsh anti homosexuality laws.